Hey everyone, hope you're all doing great. Myself Jeevita. In this video, I'm going to discuss about different types of statistics. Stats is very important if you are the one who's aspiring to become data analyst or data scientist. So in that, understanding what is statistics and different types of statistics is very important. In the previous video, we learned about what is statistics and also why it's important. In this video, we'll discuss about different types of statistics. We have two different types of statistics. One is descriptive statistics, and the other one is inferential statistics. What do you mean by that? Let's understand descriptive statistics. As the name suggests, descriptive, it focuses on describing a data. What do you mean by that? Descriptive statistics is used to describe raw data using summary statistics and visual charts. What do you mean by that? Let's say, for example, you have certain data. How do you analyze the data? In order to analyze the data that you have, what you can do, you can summarize your data using summary statistics and you can try different graphs in order to understand the relationship between the different variables. Alright, let's understand what is summary statistics. As I told, summary statistics is used to summarize the data that can be achieved using measure of central tendency or measure of dispersion. Measure of central tendency is used to describe or to summarize the data. It basically explains about how well data is distributed at the center. It can be measured using mean, median, and mode. What is measure of dispersion? Measure of dispersion is used to know how well data is spread out from a mean. If you want to analyze the spread of the data, then we go with measure of dispersion. It can be measured using range, variance, standard deviation, and IQR. This is all about, summarizing your data using central tendency and dispersion. The other way of, describing data is using visual charts. You can try with the different graphs like, univariate, bivariate, and multivariate, and you can understand what exactly is happening in your data. That is by visualizing. This is all about, descriptive statistics. Let's understand descriptive statistics by taking an example. So let's take a COVID-19 data. If you have a data related to COVID-19, how do you analyze the data? So we can understand it by using summary statistics. We can apply, we can find the total cases, average death rate, average recovery rate, and also we can find how many death cases state-wise or the country-wise, or else you can see what percentage of cases are recovered, and also you can find percentage of death rate. All these analysis you can do it with the help of descriptive statistics. Descriptive is always applied on small amount of data. Whenever data is known, in order to know what happened in the past, we're gonna use descriptive statistics. Hope it's clear. The next type of statistics is inferential. Before understanding inferential statistics, let's understand what is population and sample. What is population? Population is nothing but every possible individual that we are interested in measuring. If we are doing any experiment or any analysis, if we are including every member in that experiment, we call that entire thing as a population. What do you mean by that? If you want to find average age of students in a university, when I say university, there will be millions of students who will be studying under that university. In order to find average age of a student, you need to collect details of a students who are studying under that university. So here, students who belongs to a university are considered like a population. It's a whole thing. What is sample? Sample is nothing but it's just a part or subset of a data. It is just a subset or the portion of a population that we are collecting. What if you are interested in knowing average age of students in specific college? You're just targeting a specific college And whatever data you are collecting, whatever details you are collecting from that college, we call it like a sample. So university is like a population, it's like a huge thing. And when I see students in a college, it's a sample. That is an example. You need to figure it out which is population and sample among these two things. One is average height of a plants in your garden. And what if you want to find average height of plants in forest? So now figure it out which is a sample, which is a population. When I say plants in your garden the plants will be very less and you can measure the height of a plant. So the number of plants are like very less. So the first one is an example for a sample. And when I see plants in a forest, there can be millions of plants in a forest. We call that like a population. The data which can be collected is like a sample. Data which cannot be collected is like a population. Hope it's clear about what is population and a sample. Now let's discuss about the second type of a statistics, that is inferential statistics. What do you mean by that? Think about what is inference. Inferential statistics is always applied on a population. So for that what we do, inferential statistics uses a sample of data from a population to draw inference or conclusion about the large population. So what do you mean by that? Let's try to understand this definition by taking a simple example. We all know that whenever we have elections, media is like very much interested in knowing which political party is going to be the ruling party in India. So in order to answer this question, media cannot take their own decision and they cannot present that to the world. Right? So for that what they do, media cannot go to each and every person in India and they cannot ask which political party is going to be the ruling party in India, which is not really possible. So for that what they do, they can't really ask each and every people in India, right? The population of India is like very huge. We can't really ask each and every one, and we can't really, collect data from entire population. It's really hard. When you can't analyze your population, in that case, what we do? So we target on certain people. We just conduct a poll. Media just conducts a poll. What they do, they just target on few people. They just ask people, they just look for a public opinion and they ask please do vote like whoever is interested in whichever political party. They'll just tell about their opinion, and based on that opinion what they do, they just decide who is going to be the which political party is going to be the ruling party in India. So what they did, they just took a sample from a population and they took an opinion of a people. So based on that opinion, they'll decide which political party is going to be the ruling party in India. So this is one instance which explains what is inferential statistics. Let's take one more example, COVID-19. So during COVID-19, everyone were, we were like fed up and we were all hearing things about like total deaths, total recovery rate, how many cases. And along with that, government took a very good initiative in order to introduce the medicine in order to cure or in order to control a COVID-19. So when medical industries introduced a medicine, when I see a test dose or when I say any dose or a drug, that can't be, injected to all the people in India because it's not possible. We can't test any drug on, entire population. It's like a stupidity. So for that, what they did, they just target on few people. They select few people who are healthy. They do some test. After testing, patients or after testing a people, what they do, they take those small amount of data. They just target few people and they inject that, drug to those people and they test whether it's, working on those people or not. Based on a sample results, if it's working perfectly fine with the people who were under a sample, so now what I can do with that result, whatever inference I got from the sample, I can use that inference to make a conclusion about a population. If that drug test dose worked on a sample of people, now I can see, okay, this dose is going to work on entire population. That's how, people decide whether they have to use it or not based on the sample analysis. That is what inferential definition was telling, like it uses a sample of data in order to make inference or a conclusion about the future or inference about the population. It's always applied on the population whenever you want to make any conclusions, or whenever you want to make any predictions. In that case, we're gonna use inferential statistics. Hope it's clear. Now let's see the difference between descriptive and inferential. As I told, descriptive is always used to describe or summarize raw data. Inferential is used to make inference or prediction on population. Descriptive is applied on the small amount of data which is already available to know like what happened. Inferential statistics will use a sample from a population, and whatever result we obtain from a sample, that will be used to make conclusion about the population. Descriptive statistics will use summary statistics and graphs to analyze the past data. Inferential statistics will use hypothesis testing and regression analysis to make an inference or conclusion, and also to make up predictions about the future. If you want to know average age of students in our 10th class, so we can easily collect data related to students in 10th class, and we can find the average age. What if you want to find average age of students in India? So we have millions of students in India, and it's highly impossible to collect details of our students in less time. So for that, what we do, we just collect the samples and we do analysis on a sample. Whatever results we get from a sample, we use that result to make an inference or conclusion about the entire population. This is all about different types of statistics that you need to understand. Thank you. Happy learning.